Hello guys, this is Eric from ACS Learning Hub. Welcome back to my channel. So today, what am I going to share with you? Well, I'm going to share with you about 2022 Forex Trading Strategy. Right, first of all, let's talk about for the past, since 2019 until now, it's almost 3 years that we are actually going through the pandemic of COVID-19. So market is facing a lot of turbulence, am I right? So at this point of time, we are going into 2022. What are we going to look out for? Is there something very difficult for us to understand? No. All right. So this year in 2022, the strategy is going to be very simple. Bear that in mind, the whole world is recovering from the pandemic. So now, since it's recovering back from the pandemic, then we are going back to the basic. So same thing come back here is that let us, all of us, the Forex trader here, go back to basic. So in this 2022, my Forex strategy will be going back to basic. Right, so I have also received for the past 2 years, I have been receiving a lot of emails and comments in my YouTube channel and of course in my ACS Learning Hub Facebook page. I have received a lot of messages talking about the basic of Forex trading. Yes, I'm going to share with you what are the basic, and to enhance the basic, I will plug in a lot of trading ideas to share with all of you as well. Okay, so we are moving forward in this 2022 with a lot of basic knowledges and also a lot of trading ideas. There are some ideas during certain part of the chart that we can make it, and there are some ideas that in certain bull running or bear running down the slope, we can also plug in some basic ideas into our Forex trading. All right, guys, so without any delay, today in this video, I'm going to share with you what my 5 pips trading, my basic 5 pips trading for everybody. All right, although it may not be suitable for everyone, okay, but I hope it also helps somebody out there. All right, so if you find this video really helpful to you, okay, remember to give me a thumbs up and also click on the subscribe button to keep yourself updated for my new video. All right, okay guys, so I'm going to jump into the MT4. Today I'm going to talk about my 5 pips basic trading. All right. Alright guys, here we are in our MT4. Okay, so right now we are in our MT4 chart. I'm going to use pound yen, okay, as a good example to show everybody how did I trade my pound yen, alright, for the 5 pips trading. Okay, so first of all, I have to tell you that if you have an MT4, you can also shut down and watch this video with me. Alternatively, of course, you can still open up your MT4 and go together with me. All right. Okay, so now let me share a little bit of learning tips with you before we actually go into this MT4. Number one, set rules. So how am I going to set rules in my learning journey? Okay, there's a learning tips over here. First of all, play back and listen to this video thoroughly from the head to the tail. Okay, then second, replay the video again and have your MT4 with you. Every minute, every second when I'm talking about, you can refer to your MT4 left, right, okay? And from there, you can actually zoom in and get these informations into your memory, all right? Okay, so now let's begin, okay? So just now, when I say rules, I always set rules whether in my learning journey or in my life journey, as well also in my trading journey. So in trading journey, the rules over here is that I'm going to set it and structure it. Okay, I'm going to use different time frames for different rules so that I will always adhere myself to the trading rules and the trading structure. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to tell you what did I do, how do I set the rules, okay, in this 5 pips trading. All right, rule number one. All right, rule number one. Over here, I'm going to use day one chart, okay, the day one time frame as a reading of the whole general trending, okay. the whole general trending. All right, so let me go into the MT4. Let's take a look over here. Right, so we are in our day one MT4. All right, day one time frame. So how do I actually read this time frame? Okay, let me plot out this. I already plot out this blue color box here. Okay, which going to show you. I'm going to talk about this area. When I'm talking about day one to read, okay, to read the general trend, I am using day one. So as you can see from here down all the way is a bear trend. Am I right? So from here all the way going up is a bull trend. All right, okay, all right. So enough of my nonsense. Okay, so now come back again. Now, when we can see that the chart is actually running down, it's obviously it's a bear. So what are we going to do? Identify our action as well. So now we only can sell. Okay, we can only sell. So we are not going to buy when we identify this is a bear trend. Okay, since this is a bear trend over here, I'm not going to do any retracement trading. Okay, like example over at this part here, this is a retracement trading here. All right, so I'm not going to do any buying in the bear trend because it will become a anti-trend trading. Okay, so what am I going to do is that I will only wait, and I will be waiting patiently for the chart to come back to sell. Okay, so back to the prevailing bear trend, then I will start to sell. Okay, patience do pays in forex trading. Okay, all right, so now let's take a look over here. First of all right, if you have already identified this is a bear trend, when from the top here, okay, at the top over here, when it started to have a resistance, whenever we talk about a resistance, a bear trend is coming downwards. Okay, but sometimes it can still continue the bull. Am I right? So we do not know. So but in any case, as you are reading in the day one, okay, it's very obvious that it has running for a few days. Okay, for a few days, you can preempt yourself that this is going to be a bear. But we cannot read the future, we cannot predict the future, so we still have to be very careful. All right, every orders that we take is going to be a very important steps that we decision that we make. Am I right? So we got to be very careful each time. All right, so over here by reading this, okay, by reading this is going to be like a bear trend. I'm using this day one, looking at the chart that is going more selling than buying. You see more selling than buying candles are going downwards, and this is kind of a bear trend. All right, so in every bear trend, okay, we have a chance to sell. So this is the rule number one, that we identify the bear trend. If it's going down all the way like this, more selling than buying, is going downwards, it's a bear trend. We keep it very simple. Okay, right, so do it this way. Now day one, in the D1, okay, in the day time frame, we are able to tell that this is a bear trend when you can see the chart is going down. So now you know this is a selling market, is in the bear market now. So I'm not going to buy, I will only sell. Okay, I will only do my selling trades. So now I know in pound yen I'm going to sell, I'm not going to buy. All right, okay, so now I preempt myself already. Am I right? Okay, so now what is the second steps that we are going to take? The second step that we are going to take is to go into rule number 2. All right, rule number 2 over here. I set my second rules in terms of I am going to sell at the resistance, since the day one time frame has already showed me that this is a bear market. So in the bear market, I will only sell. So when I want to sell, I always want to sell at the resistance downwards. Am I right? Okay, so now I'm going to H4. Rule number 2, I'm going to my H4 to read where is my resistance. Rule number 2, okay? Rule number 2, I'm going to read where is my resistance. Okay, so in selling a 5 pips trading, identifying the trend is very important. Secondly, okay, you need to know where to sell. You always sell your orders at the peak. when it's coming down. So you must know what are the factors that actually creating the market continue the selling. Okay, all right. So now let's see. Okay, I'm going to use this area here, the blue box here. Okay, since the whole trend in day one is showing us that it is selling. Okay, so I'm going to use this part here to show everyone, okay, that the part here we are selling. Okay, so how do we read the resistance? And now let's take a look. A very basic understanding about reading the resistance is that when you see a green candle followed by a red candle, a green candle followed by a red candle, okay, and that is a way that you can see the selling is coming. Okay, the selling is coming, and the resistance is actually being tested and is not breaking, then we have a good chance to sell. Okay, I'm going to show you how is it like. Okay, but in resistance, we must always remember it's not every resistance that once it comes then you can sell. Okay, you must always remember in the nature of the resistance building, okay, it always come in a way that it will start to build out a resistance, followed by coming down and testing the previous resistance again. Then if it's not breaking, then it will continue the selling. Okay, so that is how it works. All right, so over here, let's take a look over here. Right, so now from the peak over here, I start to slide down. Okay, when it start to slide down, all right, so as you can see over here, the timing will be in 2021. All right, on this 22nd of October, 0400 hours. As you can see over here, there's a green red candle, a green and a red candle, okay, surface up. Okay, so to me, this is a building up a resistance. So you can sell, you can still sell this, okay, but of course it may not be so 100%. You see, the percentage is much lower. Okay, so when it's building up, so it can go up again, but however in this case it start to slide down, not much, and it start to retrace. Correct, when it start to retrace, and can you see at this point of time, 2021 26 of October, 1200 hours. Okay, and now this 1200 hours is actually coming back to test on the previous resistance over here. Okay, over here. All right, so as you can see, let me use this red color dotted line, horizontal line here to plot out, okay, this area of resistance doesn't come in a very specific price level or a point. It's always an area. Okay, so as you can see, this area is actually the resistance area. So now let's take a look over here in 0400, the previous on the 22nd of October. Okay, this build up a resistance, and it actually comes back over here on the 26th of October, the 1200 hours. It actually testing the resistance. Unfortunately, it did not break. Okay, so fortunately for us, the next 4 hours, when it comes again, the forming up of the candles to become green and red candle, okay, side by side. All right, so the next 4 hours I'll be waiting. When I see this tested, okay, in 1200 hours, once it's tested the resistance and it's not breaking, I'm going to wait for the next 4 hours. I'm going to wait for the next 4 hours and waiting for the next H4 hour candle open and take a look whether it is breaking the resistance or not. If it's not breaking, that means the resistance is there. Okay, since the resistance is there and it's tested, the previous resistance has been tested and it's not breaking, it's a good sign of selling. Okay, so now this is a good sign of selling. That means to say I will have chance for my 5 pips trading. Correct? Okay, so yeah, so this is the way actually I'm going to look out for my resistance in my rule number 2 in H4 time frame. Okay, so let's go for another example. Okay, example like over here. Let's see, now it has meet up with this previous resistance and it start to fall. Am I right? It start to fall and come back again. Okay, and now in this forms, it's going downwards again. All right, and it form up this area. Can you see this area again? All right, so this area, it has been a good selling, but don't take things for granted. Okay, so please take note, especially things like this. It started to have green, red, a little bit of ranging, okay, for the past 12 hours, and this can form up as a newly built up resistance again over here, a new build up resistance again. All right, so when this build up, can I sell? Yes, you can, but again, when you can, to me, is that this is a newly built up resistance. Okay, I think it's not 100%, so I will still take note. I will still take note. Okay, be very tactful and careful. Okay, so 5 pips trading comes along with the next one over like maybe here. Okay, so green, red, it starts to slide. Okay, yep, 5 pips, I get and go unless it breaks support over here and it starts to go down. All right, it starts to go down all the way and it starts to come back here to test on the resistance over here. Okay, this newly built up resistance is actually at the time of 2021, 1st of November, 1600 hours. Okay, so when it starts to slide down, and now in 2021, the 4th of November, okay, 00 hours, it starts to test. It starts to test on the resistance on the 1st of November, 1600 hour. All right, so right now on the 4th of November, the 00 hours, it started to test and it's not breaking. That means to say I have much more confidence and the winning ratio and the winning probability is so much higher. Okay, and the chances of going into the trend of the bear is so high. All right, so right now over here I will be looking at this resistance. Now this is the resistance that I fancy. All right, okay, so this is something good. Okay, so this is something good I'm going to take note. Okay, and now when it starts to short, okay, I will be looking out for selling opportunity. So the resistance comes again. Now I'm going to sell around in this resistance area. Okay, I'm going to look out for selling opportunity to enter for a trade in order to get myself at the peak from the resistance to sell all the way to the support. Okay, and every time I am going to grab 5 pips and there's some retracement in the smaller time frame, I'm going to grab another 5 pips. Okay, all right, so H4 is always one of the time frame that I will always pay attention to, because if there's a resistance over here, that means to say within these 4 hours from the start of this area, these 4 hours, I have opportunity in these 4 hours, maybe every hours, every minute, I may have a chance to short for 5 pips. So for this instance, I'm going to pay myself that 4 hours full attention with MT4. The rest of the time, if it doesn't work that way, if it doesn't have a resistance like this, okay, I will stay away from the MT4. Okay, relax myself, and just in case, I have a super duper ideas that comes in and make myself a chance to enter a trade without a structure. Okay, so this is one way that I actually structure myself, that if there's something, I stay put for 4 hours. If there's nothing, I'm going to stay away for 4 hours. Okay, all right. Okay, so now rule number 2 in this H4 time frame, this is where I'm actually looking out for my resistance. Okay, I think that is quite easy. It's not difficult at all. All right. Okay, so now in this day 1 time frame, we have identified the trend. If it's a bear trend, I'm going to take note where is the resistance level for me to take action in rule number 3. All right, rule number 3. Okay, we are going into further down into H1 time frame. Again, H1 time frame. All right, in this H1 time frame, again going back to the same spot in this blue box. Okay, in this blue area, same thing. If you look out for this H1, okay, you will realize that okay, the H1 will also comes along with in these 4 hours, it will comes along with a resistance. Okay, over here, this is the previous resistance where the 1st of November 1600 hours, and now it start to go down and retrace to test the resistance in H4. Am I right? So H1 will react almost the same. So once you see H4 opening up with a green and red candle, the resistance is being tested and it's not breaking, coming down, go to H1, the third step, which is rule number 3. Now take a look in this hour. Do I have a chance to sell? Do I have a chance to sell at the resistance? What am I looking out for in this H1? I always look out for a V. Okay, I always do this by taking using the word V, is because take a look at this. From the previous 1st November, the resistance is start to sell down, correct? And it retrace upwards and it form a V shape. Okay, it form a V shape. All right, so in this V shape, the resistance has been tested fully and it's not breaking. It will start to sell, and that is where I am going to take action. All right, okay guys, so you see, why do I still have to go to H1? H4 is every 4 hours you have one candle, and there are plenty of opportunities in that 4 hours. So in that 4 hours of time frame, I'm going to use every hour's block to look out for opportunities. Okay, so take a look at this. When it actually form up in H1, it form up a V that meets the previous resistance and is not breaking, okay, over here, and this is where I am going to start to sell. All right, so there are times that, you know, okay, I'm going to sell no matter what, since Eric has says that, you know, day 1 is a bear trend, H4 is a resistance, okay, and the resistance in H4 has not been retested again, so I'm going to sell all the way, which is not correct, because there will be retracement. You see, there will be retracement from the beginning of the testing, and it's having down, and these two candles, can you see these two candles over here? All right, so these two candles, it is actually a retracement in this bear market. Okay, it's actually a retracement in the bear market. So if you are going to grab the 5 pips and now you just enter anywhere you like, you will experience a stop loss over here. You will experience a stop over here, which is not correct. Okay, so we zoom down into every 1 hour, take a look. If there's a red and green and it is opposite from the resistance, that means it's a support. So the retracement is coming. So we should avoid. So over here, if you're looking out for this, once it comes and come near the resistance area and it's not breaking again, and it comes back to form a green and red candle again, here comes our chance. Okay, so this is where we are going to enter for the trade. All right, so this is very important. So as you can see, and it start to zoom down all the way, zoom down all the way, zoom down all the way. All right, so always look out for a V. Okay, when you start to retest, okay, start to test on the resistance, the previous resistance in H1, and your opportunity is here. Okay, so always look out for all these pointers that actually help us greatly in our trading. Okay, so when you start to sell down over here, let's move this. Can you see again? All right, I'm going to move this a little bit more. All right, okay, so I'm coming down to this area. Okay, I'm coming down to this area. As you can see, okay, there are retracement, selling down again, now testing the resistance, selling down again, and all the way you see there's a lot of turbulence down there. It's not testing on the resistance. So if you sell all this, okay, you're selling below all this without the resistance level, it works 5 pips, but you are also facing a 50-50% chance of having a stop. Okay, so I will always be very, very patient to wait for H1 to retrace again, to hit on my previous resistance again, which is on the 2021, the 5th of November, 1100 hours, and it tests and it's not breaking. Then when it start to have new resistance, I will start selling again. Okay, 5 pips only, and you need to wait for so long. Oh yes, but remember, patient pay. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay, we have all these pointers to help us to sell the 5 pips trading. Okay, all right, so it's going to be a very simple, okay, for today, the introduction, okay, and some sharing, my personal sharing for my basic 5 pips trading. Okay, so let's recap a little bit. Okay, so to recap this, okay, let's go back to day 1 time frame. Why? Is because day 1 time frame is where I set my rule number 1 to identify the general trend. Okay, whether it's bull or it's bear, to determine as a trader ourselves, we should buy or we should sell. Okay, all right, so rule number 2, we are going into our H4 time frame. H4 time frame is where we identify where is the resistance. Every green red candle that form up, okay, is going to be a resistance area for us to sell. Okay, all right, so this is kind of a good way because it will actually, I won't use the word restrict, but it will structure us into the structure trading, okay, within our structure, so that we won't be going out of the structure and going anywhere, everywhere to look out for profits. Okay, so rule number 3, now we are going into our H1, and H1 I will be looking out for a V. Okay, the V is actually where I want to enter a trade when it tests the previous resistance and it's not breaking, and I'm going to enter a trade within the resisted area. Okay, all right, so I hope all this information, it helps you. Okay, I hope all this helps you, and it will bring you into a state of a structured trader. Okay, and you have a structured trading method to take your 5 pips trading. Okay, all right, so coming to the end of this video. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed this little session that from me. Okay, I hope you also click on the like button as well as to subscribe to my channel. All right, so I hope to see all of you again and again. All right, and if you have any questions, leave your questions below the comment and I will answer your questions in the next video. All right, okay, so I hope all these really help you, and I hope you will give me a like. Okay, all right, I'm a very easygoing guy, so I hope I make it the whole session very relaxed and very easy for you to learn. Okay, guys, I shall see you in the next video. All right, so see you again. This is Eric from ACS Learning Hub. See you.